Hey guys, this is Dinosaur and this is the second part on how to draw the Lambeosaurus. And unfortunately my camera stopped recording again, and it was only we were only in for like 11 minutes or so. So I'm very sorry, because I think this is gonna be a second very short part, so I won't be able to get as much detail in it. And I actually did what I told what I was gonna do. I was gonna darken everything in with the pen, which I did. And now I'm gonna do the hands, and I waited with doing the hands so that you guys can actually see how to do the hands. You can only see two fingers from up here, and he has a padding underneath the top of his fingers, and then he also has what looks like something like a extra little thumb over there, but I'm not sure about that. And then this side would be exactly the same way. And then again a padding underneath it, and a outsticking weird thumb kind of thing. Alright, so now let's get some more skin texture and detail in it. And these are just a couple of arteries right here. Alright. And he does seem to have kind of like a feathered thing going on. So I'm just gonna draw it like this. Like something like a mohawk, or it looks at least like a mohawk a little bit. And it gets bigger around here, and then it gets smaller and smaller over there. So we're just gonna draw that in. And my pen isn't always working with me, so it might look a little bit messy at some points, but that's just because I'm trying to get everything in as fast as I can. So over here we would have a line that goes like this, and then a kind of skin flap that is still attached to his leg, kind of a little bit of stretched skin, and a couple of lines that go like this. And his rib cage is very good visible from over there. A couple of lines that go from his arm, and also I want his shoulder to be a little bit more pronounced, so I'm going to draw that in a little bit and get a little bit of shadow everywhere. The back of his head, there would be a little bit of shadow over there, and this area should be very dark as well. So this is there's supposed to be a little bit of shadow there, because there would be a very big muscle right there, and also on the bottom side of his jaw would be a lot of shadow. And then we could draw in a muscle, a jaw muscle kind of thing. Let's go a little bit around his eye and get a little bit of texture in, a little bit of more detail. And there would be his nose right there. And then for this crest on his head, I'm gonna draw a little bit of shadow on the top, just like this. And also a little bit of of shadow over here, and then I'm just gonna draw a couple of lines that go like this. A line that goes like this, and a bit of shadow over there. And we could get a couple of lines going like this as well. So yeah, this drawing might look a little bit messy, and that's because I'm trying to rush it a little bit so that I can still kind of get this done within 2 parts. So I am very sorry, but it's just my camera. I'm not sure what the problem is right now. So I'll have to figure out what the problem is right now. But just for this video, I'll have to keep it a little bit shorter. A couple of rips over there, just a few. And I'm gonna draw a little bit of shadow between them. So that kind of gives it a nice looking effect. And a little bit of skin texture as well everywhere. Just some random lines and randomness going on. And also a couple of wrinkles right here for his leg, which actually go quite a bit like this. And there are supposed to be a lot of wrinkles over here as well. And I might have actually made his tail a little bit too thin, because he still has to, proportion wise, he has to be able to support his weight, to balance his weight on his front half, while still having a lot of weight on the back of his body that keeps him from tumbling over. So for the muscles again, I'm just gonna roughly draw it in, and then there should be a muscle over here and one right there, and over here would be his knee as well, and a lot of wrinkly lines coming from over here. A lot of stuff going on there, and a little bit of shadow as well. And there would be a little bit of shadow over here, and then over here would be his ankle. And I actually messed this up a little bit. It looks a little bit weird at the back of his ankle, so I can't really change that because it's with a pen, and you can't really erase too much while using a pen, so that's actually really a shame. So yeah, if you are a artist that erases very often, then you shouldn't try drawing with a pen until you mastered. Well, you don't have to master it to draw without erasing, but at least you need to be precise at where you put your lines. So that's why I actually use a pencil before I go over it with the pen. That's actually one of the only reasons. I am not good enough yet to start drawing with a pen before I put down the base sketch with a pencil. So I'm just putting down a lot of lines basically, and I'm trying to get as much detail in it as I can within the time limit that we have. So I hope my camera won't stop recording in 11 minutes again, but it might, and it might actually be because I ran out of memory. which would be easy to fix. And if that were the case, then it doesn't stop recording, because I erased a couple of videos I made for the past weeks. So that should be fine if that's the case, but if that's not the case, then I'm basically screwed. I'm just gonna do the same thing over here as well, with the shadow wise. And his anchor would be over there. Draw a little bit of shadow over here as well. And then just draw in those scales. So yeah, again, it might look very messy at the end, or it might look very good, but yeah, I can't really change the outcome too much from here on. So now we have to get into his tail and actually try and get a little bit of detail in his tail as well. And also, this pen has a tendency to leak sometimes, so you might see some areas where there are ink droplets on the drawing, but that's because my pen is leaking sometimes. It leaks a droplet of ink once in a while. So yeah, my art supplies are not as great as I wanted them to be. Well, they are. I have a lot of art supplies, but like this pen, sometimes they are not working like intended, and also like my camera. My camera also is not always working as intended. So yeah, somehow I will fix it, but I just don't know when I'm gonna fix it yet, or how. I just need a new phone, I guess, to record my videos with, because my current phone is this one, and it's a good phone and all, but the camera on it is not a very great camera, so it won't really record in a high resolution, and you won't really be able to see everything that's going on, and that's kind of a shame. So I'm gonna get a couple of scales on his head. Not too many of them, just a couple of them, to make it look a little bit more detailed. And around his eye as well. I want to make this area a little bit darker, just to give that a little bit of extra detail. And also a couple of stripes going down on his head, like this. And we are far past 11 minutes, but I'm still kind of worried that it might stop recording, although I think the problem might have been that my storage was kind of full. So I am a little bit worried that it will stop recording soon. So that's why I'm gonna try to finish it as fast as I can. Well, not as fast as I can, because otherwise it would just look very bad. but a little bit faster than I would normally. Normally I would take a little bit more time for everything, but I think I can finish it within a certain time limit and it might still look pretty okay. So that's where what I'm going for. Alright, I'll make this a little bit darker, and this as well. Maybe a little bit more shadow over here as well. And now I can just try and get some stripy pattern going on. But the problem might be right here that my pen might start leaking some driplets of ink, which would mean that there is a black dot on my drawing, which kind of would ruin the drawing a little bit. So I'm kind of scared for that. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Alright, a couple of stripes on his neck as well. And let's actually make the feathers on the stripy areas a little bit darker. Kind of a little bit extra detail on that. And now let's just put these stripes on his tail as well. Alright, and I would almost say that we are about, and this is, by the way, a perfect example. Like over here, my pen dropped a little bit more ink than I intended it to, so that's why it's so dark. But I guess that we are about finished with the majority of the drawing. Yeah, I believe the drawing turned out pretty okay for the time that I spent on it again. And yeah, I'm just gonna erase the pencil lines that I put in there to give it a little bit more of a clean look. Alright. So yeah, I hope you like the drawing, Arvind Sharma, because this is your request that you actually requested quite a while ago, and yeah, I hope you're happy with with how it looks in the tutorial, so you can draw it yourself. So if you liked the video, leave a like, comment below what you think about the video and the drawing in general. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so you won't miss a single video that I'll upload. So this was Dinosaur, and goodbye.